At Northbridge High, where students often judged each other by brands and trends, Brielle Montgomery reigned as the queen bee. Her designer wardrobe, glossy hair, and diamond-studded phone case made her impossible to ignore. Everyone knew she came from old money. Her father was a real estate mogul, and her mother threw charity galas just for fun. To most of the school, Brielle was untouchable, beautiful, wealthy, and ruthless when it came to fashion and status. So when a quiet new student named Alina joined their class mid-semester, it didn't take long before she caught Brielle's sharp eye. Alina was the opposite of flashy. She wore plain clothes, the kind you'd find in a discount store, faded jeans, worn sneakers, and a backpack that had clearly seen better days. Her hair was tied in a simple braid, and her notebooks were covered in handwritten doodles. She didn't talk much, kept to herself, and avoided the gossip circles that Brielle thrived in. To Brielle, Alina looked like she didn't belong, so she made sure everyone noticed. One morning in the cafeteria, as Alina passed by with her tray, Brielle's voice rang out loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. "Is it thrift day already?" she said, smirking, her friends laughing behind her. Alina froze for a second, her cheeks flushing, but she said nothing and kept walking. Brielle leaned back in her chair, satisfied. She didn't need to say more. Her message had been delivered. Over the next few days, the teasing escalated. Brielle made little jokes whenever Alina walked into a room. Comments like, "I didn't know vintage was back in," or "That shirt screams 2005" became routine. Other students, fearing Brielle's wrath, either joined in or stayed silent. Alina, however, never reacted. She would smile politely, turn the other way, and carry on with her day. It was as if Brielle's words had no power over her, which only frustrated the queen bee more. But what puzzled some students was that Alina never seemed sad. In fact, during group assignments, she was kind, intelligent, and surprisingly witty. A few classmates began to quietly admire her confidence. Still, no one dared openly befriend her. The social hierarchy was too risky to challenge. Then came Friday, the day everything changed. Classes had ended early due to a faculty meeting. Students spilled out into the parking lot, laughing and texting, heading toward their rides. Brielle stood with her usual crowd near her sleek black BMW, flipping her hair and bragging about her weekend plans in the Hamptons. As she glanced across the lot, she spotted Alina, sitting alone, on a bench under the shade of a tree, reading a book as if she had all the time in the world. Unable to resist, Brielle sauntered over with a fake smile. "Still waiting for the school bus," she said, her tone sweetly venomous. Alina looked up calmly and said, "Not exactly." Just then a black Rolls-Royce Phantom, polished to perfection, glided silently through the school gates. The students nearby stopped and stared. The luxury car pulled up right in front of Alina. A sharply dressed man stepped out and walked around to open the door. Alina stood up, thanked him with a nod, and turned to Brielle. "That's my ride," she said simply. Brielle's jaw dropped. The car, the driver in a full suit, the emblem gleaming on the hood, everything about it screamed wealth beyond even her imagination. As Alina stepped inside, the driver closed the door behind her and got back in. The Rolls-Royce drove away smoothly, leaving behind a stunned crowd and one very confused queen bee. Later that weekend, whispers spread through the student body. Someone had found out that Alina's parents were major philanthropists and tech entrepreneurs. They lived in a gated estate outside the city and kept a low profile by choice. They believed in humility, kindness, and teaching their daughter the value of people over possessions. Alina didn't dress down because she couldn't afford better. She did it because she didn't believe clothes defined worth. On Monday, Brielle came to school unusually quiet. When Alina walked past her locker, the two locked eyes. Brielle looked away first. From that day on, the teasing stopped. And slowly, students began to approach Alina, not out of curiosity about her wealth, but because they realized there was something genuine about her that they hadn't seen in their world of facades. Brielle, once the loudest voice in the room, faded just a little into the background, while Alina, humble, poised, and unaffected, became the kind of person others quietly looked up to. Because in a world obsessed with appearances, she reminded them that true class needs no label.